Hello, Canada. I'm Crosby, and I'll be doing the play-by-play for tonight's 7th game in the series. Canada must win tonight and Thursday night's game to win the series. The Soviets have won 3, tied 1, and lost 2. Canada has won 2, tied 1, and lost 3. Regardless of the final standing, the Soviets have won a moral victory in that their team has shown unexpected power and class and seem to have a team comparable to our best. In any case, the Canadian team, after a slow start, has shown definite improvement on each game's performance. Brian Conacher will again do color and is here beside me. Brian, every game is a must from here in.
Well, Foster, with each game of this series, Team Canada has shown better conditioning and increasing strength. If, as they did on Sunday, control the puck and play sound defensive hockey again tonight, I'm confident that Team Canada can win this game and tie up the series.
Players are lining up now for the presentations and the national anthem. The international hockey match between Team Canada and the Soviet Union is declared over.
Представляем команду Канады.
Jean Rattel acting as the captain for Team Canada, and Victor Kuskin, number 4, acting as the captain for the Soviet Union. Of course, they not only change pins, but they also exchange.
Первый номер Джонсон.
This is Game 7 of the Canada-Soviet series from Moscow.
Team Canada has only made 2 changes for this game. They have dropped Kenny Dryden and replaced him with number 35, Tony Esposito. And they have dropped Red Berenson and replaced him with Bill Goldsworthy. The Soviets, however, have changed 5 players. They've dropped their star, number 17, Harlamov, who was injured on the ankle in the game number 6 here. They've dropped two of the younger players, number 23 Lebedev and number 24 Bodanov. They're both 21 years old. Another 21-year-old, number 14 Shadalov, a defenseman, and their backup goalie, number 26 Poskov. Replacing them tonight, the number 2 Gusev and number 4 Kuskin, two veteran defensemen, and the line of number 9 Blinov is back in order with number 16 Petrov and Mihailov, and number 27 will be the backup goalie Zedelnikov, and number 12 Mishakov is replacing number 17 Harlamov.
We're waiting for the teams to get their starting lineups. They haven't indicated who they're going to start with yet, but the officials, Rudolf Bata, so there's a different combination tonight from the last game, and Uwe Dahlberg. Uwe Dahlberg is from Sweden, and Rudolf Bata is the Czechoslovakian. Bata is 15, and Dahlberg is 14. Just saw Dahlberg there, number 14, and the teams are now going into the Soviets are going into their usual huddle near their own blue line. Canadians are just skating around, warming up. They haven't indicated who's going to start, but Esposito is going to start in goal. Tony Esposito will be in goal. Tretjak, of course, will be in goal for the Soviets. Looks like the Clark-Henderson line is going to start. Clark, just wait now. They still got them out there. Esposito skating around. But it looks like Clark, Henderson, and Ellis, the way they're moving into position. Clark, 28, is at center. Tretjak is warming up there. He's quite an acrobat. Now Parisi comes out. They had their starting line out there, and apparently they're going to switch that in the last moment. The Clark line is coming off. Now it's going back again. So there's a little indecision right from the start.
There's a look at the scoreboard, Foster, and of course the script is in Russian,
which makes it easy to follow. From the face-off, Canada to the left, Soviets to the right, and it's Savard clearing it over on that far wing as Canada sends 4 men in. Tretjak let it bounce back of the net. Ellis is trying to clear it out. It's shot out in front. Gankov cleared ahead to Maltsev, coming down with Mikhailov on the left, and he was knocked over and failed to make the pass. Clark played it over on the far wing. Lapointe, the goal is knocked off its props there in the Canadian goal, and the play is stopped as a result of it. They knocked it right off the props.
Well, as I pointed out before, the goals here are not fixed on pins that are about 6 or 7 inches high. They just have a spike on the bottom of them, and of course, if anybody does bump into them, they come off their mountings very easily.
From the face-off, the puck goes to center ice. It's shot over to Ellis on the right side, who gave Raglan a bump, and then went offside on the play before it could be cleared over. They're starting off very slowly, and the Soviets immediately make a change. Kuskin and Kuskin is going to stay out there. They keep changing all the time. They start out and then come back. Gilbert on the right wing for Canada. Rattel is at center ice, and Dennis Hull is over on that left wing. The defense stands fast. Rattel cleared it back to Lapointe. Lapointe going up with a pass to Dennis Hull down that left side. A shot right on. Tretjak way out in front of the goal crease. Stopped that one and held it off his chest.
Foster, the chant that we can hear in the background is the Soviet chant, and it is Shaibu, Shaibu, which means the puck.
Ready for the face-off to the right of the Soviet goal. Passes back to the blue line. Lapointe lost it, and this is break for the Soviets going down that side. Mihailov with Linov in front. Shot bounced off the Canadian goalkeeper and went to the corner. It's off to one side. Rattel going back to his own net. Petrov after him. Shot out to center. It's going right on down off the Soviet player stick. Gusev going in behind to get it. Number 2 for the Soviet to Blinov, 9. Blinov gets to the blue line. Now Gusev helps him. Gusev going in on the right side with leadoff with the high loft. The pass comes to the side. Here's the pass in front, and it went wide, as it was more of a shot than a pass. Puck comes out to center ice. Gusev passing back to leadoff, and he back passed him a high loft, and Canada recover at center ice. Dennis Hull failed to clear a pass there, spatted back at center ice, lost to Petrov, and stopped there at the defense. A quick pass to center ice. There's a trip there. There's a high loft trip, Dennis Hull, and that'll be the first penalty of the game to the Soviets. A high loft. This is Game 7 of the Canada-Soviet series from Moscow. A high loft is off for tripping at the 2-minute mark. They've played 2 minutes of the first period, no score in the game. Now Park coming up with the Canadian team having the odd man, Esposito number 7. Renwaya on the right side takes the pass, is thrown off stride by Shadron. Now Greasy over on that far wing, 22, going into the corner, shooting it back to the net. Off to the corner again. Park knocking it on the boards to Parisi, who's in the corner, back to the blue line. Knocked to the side, intercepted, and the Soviets break out. Mishkov going down, and he was skated off on that play. Couldn't control the puck when he had a chance on a one-on-one break. Now the Canadians coming back at center. Esposito shot it over the line. Lushenko cleared it out, and Mishkov came out to try and recover. Park playing it safe, and they're starting off in a very cagey way. No score in the game. Renwaya dumped his man, but knocked the puck into the corner. Mishkov couldn't recover. They shoot it down the ice. Liapkin driving it down as Canada goes back to recover. Pat Stapleton to Park, number 5. Park clearing it back to the net to Stapleton. Esposito's in goal for Canada. Stapleton skating up at center ice. Played it over on the wing. A very slow move, and it's offside on the play.
Foster, I might point out up until now in this series, the Soviets have had 25 power play advantages, and they've scored 4 times. Team Canada has had 15 power play advantages, and they've only managed to score 1 goal. And if Team Canada is going to win tonight or possibly in the last game, the power play becomes ever more important.
Ellis is taking over on the right wing with Henderson on the left. Esposito's at center ice. And the Soviet holding up the game while they get a new stick. They're still a man short, but they haven't been hard-pressed so far. Petrov, number 16, is coming out for the Soviets to help kill off the penalty. Mishkov had been out there. He stays out there with him. Now Esposito waited too long, didn't get a shot away, tried to drill one, and was hooked from behind. From in the corner, they jam there. Petrov covering his check, then bumped by Henderson. They shoot it out off the boards. Park is going back for Canada. Park coming up on the right side. Cleared it over on the far wing to Henderson, to Esposito. A shot went wide, and the puck goes into the corner. They're trying to get into position there. Henderson into Ellis in the corner. A pass right in front of Esposito. He scores! Esposito from Ellis. And there's Canada drawing first blood. Esposito from Ellis.
A great play by Ronnie Ellis, getting the puck out to Phil Esposito. He's parked about 15 feet out in front of the net, and what a move he makes, turning around to get the shot back in the goal. He had Tretjak at his mercy, and he lays it right between his legs under the ice. Canada leads 1-0. Here it comes again. We can see Ellis charge into the corner. Good forechecking here. Canada setting up control. Gets the puck out to Esposito. He makes a big turn and fires it home.
Park gives an assist as well. And the time is 4:09 of the first period. 1-0 for Canada. Shot right from the side. Canada trying to keep the pressure on. Clark had a shot at Tretjak. It was stopped. It's left there. Passed right in front of his own net. Maltsev cleared on the side, and it's missed by Mishkov. Now Maltsev trying it again. He's skated off, To the left of the puck, trying again on this left side. Mishakov shot it to the corner and back to the net. Off to the far wing. Clark failed to get away. Stapleton lets Clark try it again. A dump pass to Stapleton, who sidesteps his check, coming up slowly at center ice. Faked up shot, passed over to Mahovlich. A drive by Clark went wide of the net when he was right in front. Goldsworthy is in the corner trying to dig it out. Goldsworthy is back to the goal, trying to center it out. And there's going to be a penalty call here against two. Mahovlich talking to the Soviet player and shoving him around a bit. With the score, Canada won, and the Soviets don't score. This is Game 7 from Moscow. From the face-off, the teams are 5 aside. The Soviets break out on the left wing. Maltsev takes a drive that hits the screen. It bounces over on the side. The Soviets try to center it out. Rattel giving it to Bergman to center ice. Gilbert rushing in with Zagantov. Zagantov recovers the puck. He's checked, and again, Gilbert coming in, trying to pass, hit a skate when Mikulov stopped him. Rattel gets that puck back to Bergman. A shot. It's right in front of the net. A scramble. And the Soviets cover up with Raglan right in front of the net.
Canada set up good puck control on this play. And you'll see Rod Gilbert walks right into the goal crease, tries to screen the shot from Gary Bergman. Tretjak, he goes down. He keeps his pad spread well out along the ice.
Face-off is going to be to the right of the Soviet goal. Esposito from Ellison Park, the scoring play at 4:09 of the first period. Peter Mahovlich and Mishakov are serving a penalty for roughing. Puck is back to the goal, and Gusev is trying to come out on the right side. A clearing pass. The Soviets send 2 men up. Petrov getting it over. A shot by Mihailov was handled by Tony Esposito in the Canadian goal. Canada starting back again with a forward pass. Quite a different game from the last one. Practically no real hitting so far. They're playing it very cautiously and fairly slowly. A quick pass at center. Bergman intercepted. Cornwallis now rushing up on that left side as the Canadians change. Esposito coming out with Cornwallis. Rattel given a rest. Long pass to Gusev goes astray. It ends up in the Canadian zone. Park recovering. Park played it back to the goal. Mihailov centered it. It rolls right back to center ice. Petrov coming back to get it. Petrov for the Soviet side. Step Cornwallis goes in alone. Off balance. Knocked over when he really went off stride. Down that far side for Phil Esposito all alone. Lost the puck. The Soviet playing it over on the left wing to Gusev. Gusev at center to Petrov. Back to Gusev. Here's a pass. Nobody was there. And that shows you the passes don't always work. A roller out at center ice. Here's Esposito getting in. He's unable to control the puck. They jam against the boards. And it's covered by Kuskin against the boards. And the face-off will be to the right of the Soviet goal. 1-0 for Canada. And the team's at full strength.
Foster coach Vsevolod Bobrov might have outsmarted himself in that game on Sunday night because he put a lot of his younger players in there, and now he's got the older ones back.
With the score, Canada won and the Soviets don't score. This is Game 7 from Moscow. The puck is in at the Canadian blue line. They're starting it again. The team's at full strength. Yakushev cleared over on the far side to Anderson. Anderson getting loose in front of the goal. Let a shot go. It bounced off a leg. Then Lyapkin goes in back to the Canadian goal. Centered in front. And the pass is knocked down. Phil Esposito taking it over onto the far boards. It's finally cleared out on a pass over the right side to Cornwallis, who skates up with Phil Esposito going offside on the play. Another change of players. And Harry Sinden is moving as usually back and forth behind that Canadian bench. John Ferguson is sitting down this time. There's Bobrov, the coach of the Soviet team, cool and collected, at least he appears to be. And you can see John Ferguson there just past in the center. And Baltsev going down that far side with Mikulov. The puck goes into the corner. Baltsev trying to center it out. Henderson covered him. The puck goes behind the goal center right in front to Raglan. It goes over on the far side on a pass. He waited too long. And Canada break out at center ice with Clark. Lobbing it to the Soviet line. Raglan stopping it. Soviet attack again at center ice. And Mishikov failed to get anywhere. Clark passes on the wing. Intercepted again. Clark goes after his man. Chasing him back to the net. He shoots it down the ice. Mishikov let that one go right down the ice. And ball back to the Soviet zone.
So far, this has probably been one of the tightest games in the whole series. Although they're not using the body a lot, as you say, Foster, they are staying very close to their checks. And, of course, this makes it very difficult to take a pass cleanly. And as a result, we are seeing quite a few icings and offsides so far in the game.
I noticed Bobroff has decided to take a walk, too, but he goes at 1 mile an hour to Harry Sinden's 20 miles an hour behind that bench. They're making a change. Clark coming off. He's a bit tired after that rush, followed by Ellis and then Henderson with the helmet. Now for the face-off, the puck down to Raglan. Leadoff started down the left side. Couldn't control the puck when knocked over. Petrov played it right on to Stapleton's stick. It's up to center ice. Gilbert made the pass. The puck goes into the corner to Rattel. He couldn't recover. Petrov shooting it out at center ice. Mihailov going up with Leadoff. And he was checked without getting a pass. Kuskin fell in trying to cover the play. Gusev goes into the corner. He's checked on the play. Kuskin goes in to help. It hit the referee's skate, giving Gilbert a chance. He shot it in front of the goal. Here's a drive in front of the net. Gusev was down. It hit the screen. And the Soviet break out to center ice. Leadoff is on the left. Petrov made the pass. And it was offside. And we're getting much better refereeing in this game so far with Dahlberg and Bata handling the game.
There's a look at assistant coach Kulagin. And between the two of them, Bobrov, and Kulagin, they map out the strategy and all the training for the Soviet team. And they share responsibility about equally.
They're making frequent changes in this game. 10-17 left in the first period. 1-0 for Canada. Goal by Esposito from Ellison Park at 4:09. Puck is shot into the Canadian zone. Park going in back to the net. Trying to come out on the right side. He couldn't. Yakushev stopped him. Anderson tried to center out. Shadrin is on that line with him, so Anderson is an extra forward. They carry into the corner. Anderson is the only remainder of the so-called kid line for the Soviet team. Bobrov seemed to outguess himself on that last game by putting the kids in.
Well, we see that Juni Dahlberg there from Sweden, he jumped right in when he thought there might be the sticks up or a stray elbow around. He blew that whistle right away, and the referees obviously have been instructed, don't let the game get out of hand, call it closely, and as I say, as long as they're consistent throughout the game, the players don't mind.
Canada was about to make a change. The play goes right on. Yakushev coming down fast. Here's a goal!
Well, whoever said that the Soviets can't let the slap shot go, they've got to be wondering right now, Foster. Yakushev pulled away from the Canadian player, let a slap shot go that caught Tony Esposito. He had yet to get ready, and it went right between his legs. The Soviets have tied it up. Alexander Yakushev with a blistering slap shot.
Yakushev really let that one go. Beaten all the way. It was about a 35-foot shot. Shadrin gets the assist. Yakushev the goal. 10-17 the time. And now it's a 1-1 tie. Puck rolls to center ice. Sagankov was stopped. Now Raglan played it on the left wing, a drop pass. Here's Maltsev coming in with Mikulov, and Henderson got a stick on it, couldn't get it out. It's knocked by Ellis to Henderson. Henderson over to Ellis. It was partially deflected. Puck goes into the corner, and Clark couldn't get it. It's out to center. Maltsev recovering with Bergman backing up, and the shot went wide. That goal has perked up the Soviet attack. Here the Soviets coming in from back of the net, and he's bounced down. Mikulov was knocked over. Park covers his man. It's going to be a penalty on the play. Park with the score, Canada won and the Soviets won. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Ready for the face-off. There was a penalty given out on that play, but no one has gone off. They went to start the play, and now they're going to apparently call the penalty. That's an odd one. They gave every indication the penalty was going to... Shadloff is going to get the call. Mishakov. Park was in on that last mix-up, but Mishakov is going into the penalty box. So the Soviets get the lone penalty. He pointed at Park first. So it looks like a change of judgment on that one. Park and Mishakov had mixed it up. So holding penalty to Mishakov. He's number 12 for the Soviet, and he generally kills all penalties. It's a 1-1 tie as the puck is shot out at center ice. LaPointe playing it over to Park. Ellis is out there with Henderson and Phil Esposito. As the puck is carried in front of the Soviet goal, Ellis partially broke it up, but Raglan shoots it down the ice. Park going back to get it with Petrov after him. Park fights for that puck, recovers back of the net. Park skating up slowly, pass to Henderson, offside, and it's called at the Canadian blue line on the far side. A 1-1 tie with 8:15 remaining in the first period, and 1:24 left in the Soviet penalty to Mishakov. Soviets have had 3 penalties. Canada's had 1, and that was a double penalty, along with Mishakov, who's had 2 penalties. The puck is back to the Canadian goal. Ellis tried to relay the pass to LaPointe. Park failed to get up there in time. Falls into the boards to cover up with Petrov, but the Canadians recover. And it's now Henderson coming back for Canada with Esposito on his left, Ellis on the right. The pass goes astray. Is shot back to the blue line. Park keeping it in. Esposito is covered. They jam into the corner with Ellis overskating it. Petrov tried to roll it out. Park keeps it in and couldn't get the shot. Sagankov drives it down the ice. Gilbert comes out. Here's a mix-up here. Over on that far side, Bill Esposito is saying plenty to the Soviet player who waved him away. It was Mihailov, and Phil Esposito is going to get a penalty as a result. Whatever Esposito said to him, Mihailov didn't seem to understand or didn't care anyway. 7:21 left in the first period. 12:39 is the time of the penalty. Canada's lost the advantage. Cross-checking penalty. Esposito for cross-checking. Mihailov. Now Yakashev, one of their better players, goes into the corner for the Soviet, into the far side. Goldsworthy he's the extra man, is clearing back of the net. The 1-1 tie. And the puck is still in there. 5-a-side. Shadron is trying to center it out. Yakushev is waiting there for the pass. He shoots it right back behind the net. The point recovers. The point goes back to the goal. The Soviet are full strength. Canada now a man short. A quick pass to center ice. The point going in on the defense, right in close. And Liapkin steered him off to the side. They jam there on the board. Another pass goes astray, and they're starting to warm up to the affray. Liapkin running back to his own blue line for the Soviet, turning again. Yakushev on the left, number 15, goes over the line, the long, lanky player. The puck goes to the corner. Stapleton failed to clear. Liapkin takes the shot. Got it over to Yakushev, right in front of the net. And it's cleared to the side, but not out. Here's another power play. Luchenko took a drive. And Esposito deflected that with his skate. Yakushev set Luchenko up again. Over into the corner to Shadron. He shoots it to the open corner. And the Canadians shoot it down the ice. Tretьяка having to stop that long drive. Canada still a man short at center ice. A long shot by Liapkin. And a hard drive that time. Esposito had to be very good on the stretch on that particular play. Puck is back in the Soviet zone. Luchenko over on the right side to Yakushev. And here's Esposito stepping on the ice. And the teams are at full strength. 5:19 left in the first period. A 1-1 tie.
It's interesting to watch the Soviet power play. They set up what appears to be a double slot man. They've got their prime scoring man is about 15 to 20 feet out in front of the net, just at around the hash marks of the two circles. But then they move a defenseman in just inside the blue line, and they can get a shot from either of those two areas. Both are prime scoring areas.
Ready for the face-off. The puck comes right down to the Soviet blue line. Gusev, number 2, going back to get it in front of his net. Cleared to Mihailov, who missed it. Stapleton for Canada dumped it on the boards to Dennis Hull, who shot it over the line. Gilbert tried to come in on the right side. Blinov for the Soviet at his own line at center ice. Over on the left side to Mihailov. Skated off by Gilbert. Rattel helps him out back of the net. Cleared to Dennis Hull. And Rattel goes back to the goal. Checked on the play. Now Gilbert in the corner. Failed to get out when stopped by Blinov. Back to Gusev. Another pass. A shot in front of the net goes wide. Gilbert covered Blinov, who still is fighting for it. He finally got it back to Gusev. A shot is deflected, and the Soviet are getting that passing play. There's going to be a penalty call here as the referee has his hand up. And here's the call for hooking. And it looks as if the Canadian player, Bill White, is going to get the call. Bill White on the defense with Pat Stapleton gets the penalty for hooking. So now the Soviet will have the odd man again with 4:15 left in the first period. 15:45 played in the first period, a 1-1 tie. And there's Bill White in the penalty box for Canada.
Bill White, number 17, Team Canada, 2 minutes 24 interference.
They ruled it as interference. And the call is going to be, the face-off is going to be made on the rim of the circle in the Canadian zone. Bergman finally went sliding to the side there just to cover up on that play. Clark and Ellis are trying to kill off the penalty. Park and Bergman, the Canadian defense, in front of Esposito. Mihailov in front of the net as the puck is not dropped fairly. They called it immediately when Petrov made his move first and then juggled the puck right up to the referee's hand. Luchenko is standing near the blue line, number 3, always a dangerous player. Puck goes wide of the Canadian goal. Bergman tried a forward pass and shot down the ice by Ellis. And Sagankov is going back of his own goal for the Soviets. A rink-wide pass to the far side. They're moving up at center as Mihailov tried to get Petrov's pass, and it goes right back into the Soviet zone. Luchenko after it. Luchenko in front of his own goal to Vikolov. Vikolov at center with Petrov. He gets that puck right in that goal right here. He sees the score. He went right in to score, drawing the goalkeeper out, and it was a beautiful goal by Petrov.
Great puck control by Petrov. He almost has the puck poked away from him, but look at him fight for control. He gets the puck again and slips it right in behind Tony Esposito, who by now is slid way out of the net and is well out of position. A beautiful goal by Petrov to give the Soviets the lead.
16:27, time of Petrov's goal to give the Soviets the lead, 2-1.
And here we see him coming up. Now Petrov, he almost loses it, but hangs on and slips it by Tony Esposito.
Now the Soviets coming again. A long shot. Yakushev went racing in for the rebound. And it failed to click. So far, the Canadian team haven't had the zip that they had in that last game, and the Soviets seem to be playing right back to their top form. 2-1 is the score for the Soviets over Canada. 3:20 left in the first period.
Coming up in our first intermission, we'll get a look at the reception at the Canadian Embassy yesterday. We'll get some more fan reaction of the game and the series. And, of course, Howie Meeker will be along with his analysis.
Ready for the face-off. 2-1 for the Soviets. Shadron is going to take the face-off. Rolled it near Esposito. The puck goes to the far side. It's not cleared out when Shadron breaks it up. Yakushev was checked promptly by Cornwallier and then is given the puck at his own blue line. That's him at number 15. Now Anderson, one of the kid line, failed to get anywhere. Canada bring it right back. Cornwallier to Esposito. It's rolled to Esposito. A shot right in front. They scramble. Here's right first. Oh, a pile up there with Parisi trying to lift that one over the goalkeeper, but he was able to cover it.
Parisi made this play all possible by getting that puck through to Phil Esposito. Esposito gets it across in front of the net, and Canada has several good scoring chances, but Tretjak keeps an eye on the puck and manages to stop the shot twice.
Ready for the face-off to the right of the Soviet goal. Back to the blue line. The shot is wide. The Soviets scored that goal to put them in front with Bill White in the penalty box. The penalty was at 15:45. The goal was at 16:27. Petrov making a beautiful play of it to draw Esposito out of position. Now they're trying the same spot. Savard is standing there practically at center at the blue line. It's cleared over on the far side. It's back to Savard. He fakes a shot, turns. There's going to be a penalty call here. Esposito shoots. He scores! Esposito fired that puck, and it's all tied up again. Esposito let one go from about 30 feet out.
Again, his teammate gets Esposito the puck, and he's right in the key scoring area. Phil Esposito with that quick wrist shot drills one by Tretjak. If you notice, Tretjak is well back in his net and doesn't have really a good chance on the shot. We see it come up here again. Savard makes a good move here, beating the defenseman, gets it back to Esposito, and the quick shot beats Tretjak on the low side in the corner.
Well, that scoring play will be Esposito from Savard at 17:34, making it a 2-all tie. And this is going to be a tough one all the way through. Now it's Savard clearing that pass on the far side to Peter Mahovlich, and it's offside. Apparently, Parisi was also given an assist on that goal. Esposito from Savard and Parisi.
Savard made a terrific move on the Soviet defenseman. He gave him a little head fake. He spun around by him, and he hit Phil Esposito with a perfect pass. And Phil Esposito can get that puck away as fast as anybody in hockey. And he caught Tretjak trying to set up, moving back into the center.
There's a false start on that face-off. Goldsworthy is on the right wing now with Phil Esposito and Peter Mahovlich. So they're juggling their lines around a bit. And they're adding heavy checking every chance they get. Petrov is now at center for the Soviet. Blinov is on the left wing, number 9. Gusev and Kuskin on the defense. 4 is Kuskin. It's over the line, into the corner. They race for it. The puck is loose. Goldsworthy is trying to center it out with Petrov jamming him against the board. He picked on a tough one to shove around. Here's a drive wide of the net. Esposito was nearly in front. The Soviet breakout was Blinov making the pass right in front of Mihailov. The shot hit Esposito and hurt him. A rising shot caught Tony Esposito on the chest, and I think it hit him on the neck. And the game will be delayed. He's coming over, as you see, and holding his throat as he comes over the bench.
There's no question that Tony Esposito was hurt there. That was a high rising shot by Mihailov, who came in a good 6 to 10 feet offside, taking that pass from his teammate, and walks right in and let a high rising shot go. Esposito, even in jumping up, still caught the puck well up into his chest or up into his throat, and I'm sure that that really smarts. We see him skating back to the net, so he's all right. But he certainly felt that one. You can see him rubbing his neck, and there's no question he didn't have much of a chance on that shot to get out of the way of it. It was going well over the net, but it just happened to hit him as he tried to go up.
He's gamely going to continue there. He got quite a nasty rap as it bounced off his chest and hit him on the throat. Face-off is at center ice, a 2-all tie, 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the first period. Savard shot it to the corner. It's out to Phil Esposito, who couldn't get a clearing pass going, and it went to the Soviet zone where Blinov ahead to Mihailov, 13 at center. Over on the left side to Petrov. Petrov centered in front and went wide of the goal. It's back of the net. Phil Esposito. Cornwallis is way up here near the blue line, waiting for a pass that didn't arrive. It's carried in on the right wing by Parisi, offside. And the face-off is going to be made at the Soviet blue line. 1:06 left in the first period, a 2-all tie.
There's a look at some of the cameramen along the boards getting coverage for their local stations.
From the face-off, the puck goes to the boards. Yakushev, 15, plays it to his defenseman. It's a pass that's knocked down. Another try by Luchenko, who shoots it into the Canadian zone. Stapleton is trying to clear. Yakushev stopped it, tried his pass that was intercepted. It's knocked over on the right side to Ellis. Ellis is written off by Luchenko. He still has it, though, but he has it against the boards. And Clark was right there to help him out. Bill White and Stapleton on the Canadian defense at the blue line.
A good play by Ronnie Ellis coming right up the ice there. He had to fight off that check all the way from the blue line in. He kept an eye on the puck the whole way. He fought off the check and eventually held it against the boards.
Clark, Henderson, and Ellis out there for the Canadian team as Anderson shot it out to center ice. Shadron was unable to do anything, and it went off Henderson's glove into the over the boards. I think he caught it and just dropped it there on the far wing. So the face-off, referee Dahlberg is facing off. The puck is dropped. Clark had it on his skate. Yakushev knocked it back to his defense. He received a real bump there from Henderson. It's over to Ellis on the right wing. Ellis 6 going into the corner. Liapkin knocked him into the boards. Henderson goes to help. Then Henderson took a shot. Tretjak stopped that one, and they shoot it out to center ice. Bill White going back to get it. Shadron touched the puck as the siren goes to end the first period, with them ending it in a 2-all tie. It was a real battle all the way through. Esposito scored first, Yakushev followed by Petrov and Esposito. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. 2 minutes longer on that intermission there before they came out on the ice. Now they're getting ready, recapping that first period. 4:09, Esposito from Ellison Park for Canada. At 10:17, Yakushev from Shadron for the Soviets to tie the score. Then at 16:27, the Soviets took the lead. Petrov unassisted, while Bill White was in the penalty box. And at 17:34, Bill Esposito getting his second goal, with Savard and Parisi assisting. It's a 2-all tie as they start now in the second period, and it's a tight hockey game, and so far it has been quite as exciting as the last one. It's a 2-all tie, Soviets to our left, Canada to the right. They're underway with Petrov's pass being blocked by Savard. Dennis Hull is out there on the forward line with Rattel and Gilbert. Rattel broke up a first rush, then Gilbert passed to Dennis Hull, to Rattel. Rattel to Dennis Hull, right in on goal! And he dragged that puck too much and missed the net on a good try. Again, Dennis Hull broke up the rush before they could get out. Gilbert goes in to try and do some forechecking as they bottle the Soviet up. Then the Soviet player took a dive there as Gilbert checked him. There'll be a penalty call on him. The play keeps on going. Luskin is going in back of the Canadian goal. It's shot over on the side. It rolls right in front of the net. Canada shot it out, and it's called, and the penalty will be handed out. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. A hooking penalty to Gilbert puts the Canadian team a man short in 59 seconds played of this second period, a 2-all tie. The puck rolls out at center. The Soviets have the odd man advantage. Lechenko, number 3 for the Soviet, to Vikolov. Vikolov played it to the blue line, tapped over on the side to Petrov, going in with Mihailov. He's into the corner. Petrov has that puck back to the blue line to Lechenko. The shot, it's bounced in front, and it was knocked there by Bill White to the corner, who covered his man and goes loose again. Mihailov hooked at Stapleton. The play goes right on, and it's finally carried out over the line by Phil Esposito, who scored both Canadian goals. Phil Esposito dragging that puck with Peter Mahovlich. He finally knocked over, and then Petrov leaned on him as the puck slides into the Soviet zone. Mihailov going back to the net. Mihailov coming over on the right side. A long pass away outside to Vikolov, who didn't even make a move on that. And the Canadian team still a man short.
There's a good look at Ronnie Ellis as he skates out onto the ice. Take his turn, killing the second half of this Soviet power play. A good effort by Phil Esposito. Puck control is all important when you're a man short, and Phil Esposito managed to rag the puck for at least 15 or 20 seconds, and they're very critical.
The penalty has 1:06 remaining to Gilbert. Canada still a man short, as now the Soviets have made a change. Canada has Clark and Ellis out there trying to kill off the penalty with Bill White and Stapleton. Shadron was knocked down by Stapleton, who played well up the Apkin, 25. Goes in back of his own net as they try to regroup. Maltsev starts away up to the blue line at center ice, showing a burst of speed. Trying to go in on Bill White's side, was forced into the corner. Gets it back to the blue line. A long shot bounded off the leg, and Clark lobbed it down the ice. Tretjak just stopped it. Liapkin going into the corner. Playing it over on the left side. Gets to the blue line. Slowed down. Passed over on the right side to Yakushev. Yakushev is covered and taken in on the board. They jam there. The play is stopped. And Canada covered up on that play so that there's no loose puck.
Again, it was Ronnie Ellis. You can notice how Ronnie, when he's in the corners there's not a coach in hockey that won't tell you if you're not sure what to do with the puck, trap it along the boards, because you're never going to get yourself in trouble if the whistle blows. And Ronnie Ellis is playing a very sound defensive series over here.
Park and Bergman now on the Canadian defense. It's Bergman failing to get that puck. The Soviet recover back to the blue line to Lachenko. The shot, and Esposito went down to cover. Ellis to Clark. Clark lobbed it down the ice, and it's Lachenko going after it, watched by Clark. He shoots it over to Liapkin on the far side. Ahead to the blue line, a three-man break at center ice. Coming up over the line, he cut back again. Shadron is forced back into his own zone by Clark. Shadron takes the pass from his defenseman, cleared it to Ilamov. It's into the corner as the Canadian team are now at full strength. Gilbert is back on the ice. They shoot it around back to the Canadian goal. Bergman tried to golf it away. It's kept in there on the right side by Kuskin. Shadron is knocked sideways. Mihailov went after it, couldn't reach it. Canada clear it out with difficulty, and Shadron's pass is knocked down by Gilbert, who forces it back to the Soviet line. Soviet held it, checked. They're trying to change players on the goal. Phil Esposito stepping out there now. Cornwallier rushing over on that far wing is Petrov, trying to get a long forward pass. Bergman goes in to cover him in the corner, and it's held there for a faceoff. 15:55 left in the second period. A 2-all tie. Canada 2, the Soviets 2. Canada took the lead. Soviets tied it up. Then the Soviets took the lead, and Canada tied it up all in the first period. Ready for the face-off. You hear the Canadian rooters as Esposito got that pass over to Parisi. A long shot to Cornwallier was way offside on the play, and it's called back for a face-off practically in center ice.
The Team Canada rooters over here come up with a new cheer, Foster. It's called Da Da Canada, Yet Yet Soviet, and they've been chanting that throughout all the games.
From the face-off, the puck rolls over the Canadian line. It's knocked right back again by Phil Esposito to Savard. Savard's pass goes astray. The Soviets coming in. Mihailov into the corner. Passes back. A quick shot. And it's stopped there neatly by Esposito. Cornwallier tears down the right side with Esposito going in, and he hit the side of the net as he couldn't control the rolling puck. Cornwallier gets it from the corner. Center to Esposito. He stopped. It rolls back to Esposito. Backhanded one wide. Kuskin for the Soviet into the corner. Onto the left wing to Zagankov to Petrov. Petrov over the line, closing in. Mihailov shoots. And that was a brilliant save there by Tony Esposito, who covered on the outside of the goal crease.
A beautiful drop pass set up Mihailov coming right in behind Foster. And this is a typical basketball move. Once again, the Soviets used quite a few basketball maneuvers out there. Mihailov walks right in. He gets a shot away that's not clean, and Esposito had anticipated a harder shot, and he almost had the puck go in underneath his pads.
Clark going out there now for Canada. Goldsworthy taking over on the right wing. Replacing Ellis for the moment. A long shot goes over the line. Clark follows up with Goldsworthy, who took a shot, and it bounced off the leg. Henderson is on the right wing. Ellis giving a breather after killing off penalty. Henderson in that corner is covered by Zagankov. Clark was right there too. And the face-off will be to the left of the Soviet goal. Here's a change for Canada. Stapleton and Bill White replacing the point and Savard. There's Clark. No keys at all. Carrying on a counter. Save that face-off for the Soviets. Clark and Nikolov fence there for a moment. Canada playing every man up. The pass comes out to center ice. Bill White lobbed it over to Stapleton. Stapleton took a long shot. Tretьяка failed to clear. Another shot is wide of the net. Now Stapleton getting a chance. He took a shot. It just bounced off a leg. Maltsev races after it. Bill White beat him to it. Goals where they knocked it back in the Canadian zone. And it's knocked ahead by a glove. And it's offside, and another change, this time by the Soviets. Parisi is coming out with Cornwallis and Esposito. And the Soviets have Anderson with Shadron and center ice. Anderson on the right wing. Raglan and Luchenko are on the defense. A pass to Yakushev there on that left wing. And it's offside again.
Yakushev has a terrific reach, a big, lanky left winger, and he can really move that puck 6 to 8 feet every time he stick handles.
The puck rolls back at center ice. It's a 2-all tie. 14:09 left in the second period. Soviets break up a Canadian rush at center ice. Anderson went in on the right side. He just went down there when checked by Parisi, who's going to get a penalty for tripping, and that looks like a real cheap one. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. There's a check there right off the bat. Stapleton was hauled down, a hooking penalty to the Soviets after Parisi had gone off for slashing at 6:04. So Anderson gets the penalty for the Soviet and loses the advantage in manpower. That'll be hooking. 6:11 is the time of the penalty. Coming in with a shot, and it's a long drive by Yakushev, handled easily. Cornwallis trying to come down. They're 5 aside now. Cornwallis and Esposito failed to combine on that play, but Esposito grabbed that puck. They're 5 aside, stolen by the Soviets. Yakushev coming in on the wing and stopped by Bill White after Shadron had nearly put him in the clear. A long pass to center ice. Here's a shot by Esposito that went wide. Cornwallis couldn't get the rebound. It's down the far side, closing in over the line. The Soviet player was checked. Stapleton carries back at center, deflected over the line with the Soviet Luchenko to Shadron on the right wing. Shadron at the blue line, ahead to Yakushev. He's the dangerous player. Yakushev over that left side. The shot was stopped by Bill White. And blocked. Here's another chance right in front of the goal. A shot. And Esposito stopped that one as the Afghan was able to worm his way in front of the Canadian goal after being stopped on the first try.
A good play here by Leapkin. He takes the puck through his skates, gets turned around, and gets the shot right back on Tony Esposito. Foster, what they do so well here when they have 4 men to 4 is they spread it right out. They spread out their attack, and they use all of that ice, and it's very difficult to cover this large ice surface with only 4 men.
Ready for the face-off in the Canadian zone. Maltsev carrying Sidon there just for a moment. The puck comes over on the left side. They're trying to get that puck out. The Gankov pass is knocked out by Gilbert. Rattel knocked the puck ahead just after Gilbert was stopped and knocked over. Here's Rattel getting a chance. He cuts back, lobbed a high one that Maltsev takes in back to the Soviet goal. Tretjak stands there guarding the net as Gankov comes back at center ice, over to Maltsev, closing in. Maltsev shoots! Great save there by Esposito, got his stick and skate in the way. Puck is back to the Canadian goal. They're trying to get organized here. They're 5 aside, but now Canada at full strength. Soviets still a man short. Coming up over the line, offside. And Gilbert was moving in with Parisi there, but was called on the offside. Anderson just came on the ice too. So now the teams are at full strength. 11-49. left in the second period, a 2-all tie. Canada 2, the Soviets 2. 3 penalties in the second period. Gilbert, Parisi, both of Canada, and Emerson of the Soviets. Clark, Ellis, and Henderson out there now for Canada. Petrov got the draw, shot it over on the wing, too far for Blinoff, who's beaten to the puck by Ellis, who lost it in the corner. Blinoff centered it. It's intercepted. Henderson went racing after it, knocked it back in his own zone. The point, clearing to Ellis, who couldn't get past center. Gusev cleared at the blue line to center ice. Petrov got his man over. Petrov shoots, and it's about 3 feet wide. Ellis after it. Finds the pass on the wing. Clark helps him out to Henderson. Henderson shoots. Oh, that was close. As Tretjak was able to cover that. Down the right wing for Blinoff, closing in. Didn't get a shot. Another try for Mihailov, who centered out in front. Cleared off to the left side. Henderson with Ellis. Ellis tried to reach for that one. It went too far and it goes down and is called for icing. And it'll be brought back into the Canadian zone.
What this line of Ellis, Clark, and Henderson does better than any of the lines for Team Canada is they move the puck up the ice quickly